Prime Minister Hamdok on an aggressive charm offensive here in the United States, expected to meet with officials from the State Department, the US Treasury and the National Security Council, among others. And a priority to remove Sudan from the list of state sponsors of terror it was first placed on in 1993, as expressed during a recent visit to the UN in September.
The delisting of Sudan from the state-sponsoring terrorism list. This is key to anything we can touch and do. It is linked to the economy, it is linked to debt, investment, but opening the country at large. We have to get understanding and fast from our American friends in delisting Sudan. Sudan that is upholding good human rights, good governance, rule of law, is not a threat to anybody. So we have to be able to reward the Sudanese people in this.
The United States lifted decades of trade sanctions against Sudan in October 2017, but residual sanctions remain in place, particularly related to the conflict in Darfur. And with their continued state sponsor of terror listing, the country is blocked from accessing loans from institutions like the International Monetary Fund, and will be seeking guidance from US interlocutors on how that could be reversed expeditiously so as to prevent the country from becoming a failed state. And as the Forces of Freedom and Change protest movement demonstrated, a Sudanese people ready for a new political paradigm, both at home and abroad.
Sudan is a very rich country. We don't need handouts. What we need is opening up the country for business, prosperity and all that. And I think working together with our partners, we could achieve that. Reforming state structures and institutions is a top priority. Building solid foundation for the establishment of the rule of law, transparency, accountability, justice, and particularly transitional justice that is firmly linked to the peace process. Combating corruption, and addressing issues of the recovery of the stolen asset. We think it's stand in billions.
The African Union and the United Nations have urged international solidarity as Sudan navigates through its democratic transition.
Les défis économiques et humanitaires sont particulièrement poignants dans votre pays.
The economic and humanitarian challenges are particularly striking in your country. The debt burden is unbearable. Concerted and rapid action from international economic and financial institutions must be put together as quickly as possible to drastically reduce or purely and simply cancel that debt.
We need from the international community a number of things, and they should include removing immediately the Sudan's designation as a terrorist supporting state, and lifting all economic sanctions and mobilizing massive financial support for development to make the current political gains durable.
A large country seen as critical to regional stability on the African continent, but in need of a boost of international confidence and momentum after its historic transition earlier this year. Sherman Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.